Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer, and I am a teen with a passion for makeup and kitten rescue, and a lot of other things. But that's too much to go into this video today. As always, if you hear noise in the background, that is my foster kittens. They always just are the most playful right as I decide to film, and she was just sleeping 2 seconds ago, so that's not me purposefully deciding to film when she's loud. Let me explain what we're doing today. So we are doing, or I am doing, a non-binary pride look today, woohoo. If you don't know, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm non-binary. And so today we're doing a lovely eye look inspired by the non-binary flag. I will pop it up on the screen if you don't know what it looks like. And I am going to change the order of some of the stripes just because that is what makes the most sense for me in my look this year. So yeah, if that bothers you that much, then you can leave, I guess, but I don't know why it would bother you that much. But anyways, this video was originally supposed to be the same video as the bi pride look, but then one, the bi pride look was 20 minutes long and it would be a whole lot to add another 20 minutes for the non-binary look, and two, I actually already filmed this look once and I lost the footage. Like, it's still there, like it's still on the memory card I used, but it won't let me click on it and watch it, and it won't let me put it on my camera or do anything, so that footage is gone, so I'm refilming. And I'm actually really glad that I ended up having to refilm this because some stuff happened that I really want to talk about in today's video, because the first time I filmed it I was pretty low energy and I was just like not really knowing what to talk about, but I have a lot to talk about today because some stuff has happened and I will get into that. But right now we're gonna zoom in and we are going to do the look. Oh, and we're doing better today. I have 3 palettes that I brought over for this look instead of the 6 I brought over for the bi pride look. So we're making improvements here. And today is going to be just me talking about some stuff that has affected me recently relating to being non-binary, and also an amazing channel I found recently, which, like, why would I talk about this in a video that's about me? But they have, I just threw my freaking eyeshadow primer across the room on accident, but they have really affected me, this one channel, like in a good way. And then there's another channel that affected me in a bad way, but we're gonna mostly focus on the channel that affected me in a good way. So I will shout them out. Hopefully they see this because they're a smaller channel, and I'm gonna tag them like a million times on Instagram so that they hopefully see it, but if they don't see it, like, oh well. You know, a lot of people don't see me, it's fine. I'm pretty small, I'm pretty invisible out there, so it's fine. I need to start doing makeup before we're here for an hour because you know me, I like to ramble and we could very easily be here for an hour. Why is my camera not focusing? Also, I'm in a very like strange, odd, hyperish mood, but also just like in a very weird mood, so you're just gonna have to put up with me. Sorry. Actually, not sorry. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start in my Beauty by Bright Matte palette, and I'm gonna go into the one bright yellow in the palette. How is this palette so big, but it only has one like true bright yellow? I don't know. But I'm gonna go into Hello Sunshine right here, and I'm gonna start putting that through the front portion of my crease. And now I'm gonna start talking. So I know I had like a plan for what I was gonna talk about in this portion of the video when I started filming the bi pride look. Yeah, I don't remember that, so we're just gonna talk about what I want. If I was a good YouTuber, I would watch the bi pride video to see what I said I was gonna talk about, but I'm not a good YouTuber, so oops. But basically, what I'm gonna talk about instead is something that really affected me relating to non-binary recently. So it's gonna start as a tangent, but it has a point. So I've been into watching the genre of YouTube where people that are kind of have the same viewpoints as me react to people who have very different viewpoints as me. People that are very religious, but in the bad way. You know, like, I don't care if you're Christian, if you act like a real Christian should, like you're nice to people and stuff. But then there's this genre of Christians that just spread nothing but hate. They're homophobic, they spread about toxic purity culture, you know, they just shame people, and I don't get down with that. So now I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna stay in that palette. I almost got a different palette, but I'm gonna stay in this palette actually, and I'm gonna go into Purple Power, this one right here, and I am going to use a different brush. No idea what that brush is yet. I found a brush to use, so that's good. Gonna go into this. And I like watching people that have similar viewpoints to me react to these hateful viewpoints because I find it funny, and I also just find it refreshing to see that, like, yes, there are hateful people out there, but there are smart people too. So I like watching these videos, right? And there are some channels that are very outwardly awful, and so they get reacted to more than other channels, right? And one of these channels, they're a couples channel, and they're called Paul and Morgan. Don't look them up, they're gross. I've seen several videos of people that I like, you know, people that I'm probably subscribed to, because this subscribe button is like candy to me. I'm subscribed to like a ton of people, but they are awful, okay? And I was just browsing their channel, not planning to watch any videos because I wanted to see how many subscribers they have. I'm very disappointed to say that they have 140,000 subscribers. That makes me sad that there are that many hateful people in the world. Yes, I was browsing their channel. I was like, what other videos do they talk, like what other topics do they talk about? Because I've seen their like viral videos being reacted to a lot, but I was wondering like what other things are on their channel. And I saw a pretty recent video of theirs that talked about Demi Lovato. And if you're living under a rock, you might not know that Demi Lovato recently came out as non-binary. I don't know how recent it was. It was like pretty recently, and I am very supportive of them. I am non-binary myself, and I just thought it was great to see a celebrity that's well known, you know, come out as non-binary and like who they are and explore who they actually are, and that's amazing. However, I was like, I haven't actually heard of whether or not these Paul and Morgan people are homophobic or transphobic. I should have said like obviously they are, but I was a little curious. I was really sleep deprived, so I was kind of like, I haven't seen anyone react to this video yet, so maybe it's not that bad. I'm gonna watch it. Worst mistake I've made in like 3 months. I should not have watched that video, because in this video, Paul and Morgan are extremely homophobic and transphobic, and I was literally sobbing at the end of the video because of how awful they were. They have so many points that are just disgusting to make. And the one that hit me the hardest is trigger warning here for suicide. I will put a timestamp here of when I stopped talking about this, so you can just skip ahead if you want. I have struggled with suicidal thoughts in the past. I've even been hospitalized because of suicidal thoughts. So yes, that is a triggering subject for me, and with no trigger warning or anything, I think it's specifically Morgan that makes this correlation, and she makes the correlation of like, these Gen Zers are so much more like in the LGBTQ community than any other generations. But do you know what's also higher? Suicide rates. That is so disgusting. Even thinking about it now still hurts me. That hurt me a lot. And honestly, I spent like 3 days really messed up because of that video. And I feel like I probably would have still been messed up by that video because they made a lot of other disgusting points in this 20-minute video that I watched all the way through. I don't know why. After the first 2 minutes of them purposefully misgendering her and saying how confused she was, I should have turned off the video. But I'm a curious cat, and I did not, and that is my downfall. However, something made me feel a lot better, and one of these reactionary channels that I immediately subscribed to after their first video, I'm a new subscriber, but like I binge watched all their videos when I subscribed to them, so I feel like I'm pretty well versed in their content by now. I'm just blending and blending, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm actually gonna deepen up this purple a little bit. I'm gonna just go into this darkest purple here, right here, and just deepen up that purple a little bit. What's it called? Drama Queen. Okay. And this channel, I will link them below. I'm not linking Paul and Morgan's channel because they suck, but I will link this channel below. Their channel is called Jordan and McKay. They are a couple of ex-Mormons that just talk about like the toxicity of purity culture, I believe was one of their most recent videos, like how toxic the Mormon church is. And they also like do reactions to channels like some of these really Christian channels, and I was literally thinking, I'm still upset about this video that I watched like 3 days ago, and I don't know why, because homophobes don't normally get to me. Like, I've been pretty solid in my identity as, you know, me, but for some reason this video from Paul and Morgan really got to me. It just did. It really got to me. It didn't get me like questioning my identity or like maybe I should turn to God, like was their intention. I just got really upset. So they didn't even do what they intended. They just wrecked my mental health for a few days, which I admit I should not have watched that video. I'm never gonna watch a video directly from a hateful channel again, but I did watch the video, and the fact that it's on the internet, I'm not at fault here for being upset by a video. The people that made the hateful video are at fault, okay? But Jordan and McKay, the channel I actually like, I'm stating Paul and Morgan, bad. Jordan and McKay, I love their channel. And they're a lot smaller channel. As of the time I'm filming this, I think they have like 7,000 subscribers, so they're bigger than me. But they're still like on the YouTube space, they're a small channel, which I promise I'm not attempting to rant about a channel that I love for 20 minutes, but that's probably what's gonna end up happening because I love this channel. They literally got me out of a depressive slump, and a single video has never been able to do that for me before. So anyway, what did they do? Valkyrie, you're being very loud. That's my kitten, by the way. They did a video reacting to this video about Paul and Morgan reacting to Demi Lovato coming out. It's a lot of reactions going on here, but that's fine. We're gonna go into the black, which is illicit. You can use any black eyeshadow. It's pretty much the same. And I'm just gonna put this on my outer corner and kind of blend it into my outer corner. But they did a video reacting to Paul and Morgan's video. This video was an hour and 11 minutes long. I watched the entire thing. And yes, I did watch it in double speed. I watched literally every video in double speed. I don't have a long enough attention span to watch it on normal speed. So nothing against them. I still watched the entire video just on double speed. I don't know why I'm ranting about double speed. Their video made me feel so much better. Their video erased every ounce of sadness that I was feeling from Paul and Morgan's video. They made me feel so much better. And some of their words, I think these were Jordan's words, but they may have been McKay's words. There are a couple, but like I cannot remember who said what because I watched this video last night, but my memory is terrible. So was it last night? Proof that my memory is terrible. One of their words that stuck is that Morgan, one of the girls from the girl from the bad channel, she was saying, I know how you feel, speaking to non-binary individuals. You're confused, you're lost, you're struggling, and something about needing to turn to God. And that is when I think Jordan pauses it and says, you do not know how they are feeling. And that is so true. If you are not part of the LGBTQ community, you do not understand what it's like to be hated for something like that. Like, yes, you may be hated on for other things you can't control, and I'm sorry about that, but if you're not part of the LGBTQ community, you don't know what it's like to be hated on for your gender or sexuality. You don't. I'm sorry. You can empathize and you can try to understand, but you don't actually know. And the fact that Morgan was being blatantly homophobic and transphobic while still trying to be, I know how you feel. That was hard. But I'm also so just thankful for that video by Jordan and McKay. You might be like, why are you even talking about this video that made you upset and then this video that made you feel better? It's because even if I was completely solid in my identity as non-binary, people being hateful still hurt me. Your words, even if you think they won't get through my skin. I have decently thick skin from being on YouTube and getting hate comments, but words can still hurt, even if you think they won't. That's why, you know, just don't be mean. If you're thinking of saying something mean, thinking that someone will never see it, or thinking that it won't bother a person at all, don't say it still. Like, it still could really bother someone, just like it really bothered me. But I just wanted to say that Jordan and McKay made me feel a lot better. That's just what I'm saying. I don't know. That might be it for the crease. But I am gonna start adding shimmers now. I'm taking my tried and true NYX glitter primer, which I'm almost out of. I do need to get some more. Where is my brush? I feel like half my makeup videos are just me looking for brushes. I normally cut that out, but I don't always. Anyway, I'm putting on this NYX glitter primer just in a half-cut crease shape. Also, while there's a potential of Jordan and McKay watching, I am going to say they mentioned the amount of jump cuts that Paul and Morgan do, and I'm going to say I probably do just as many jump cuts, but that's because I'm insecure. That's why I do that many jump cuts. Because I'm insecure about myself, and I take out my breaths, and I take out my ums, and that's why I do jump cuts. I actually finished rambling about what I was planning to ramble about really quickly, so I'm gonna ramble about something else now. I'm gonna take the black from the Dose of Colors Friendcation collab. Well, this palette here, I'm gonna take the sparkly black. You don't need this palette, you just need, if you're wanting to recreate this look for some reason, you just need a sparkly black. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in my outer corner. I found so much happiness in these channels reacting to these hateful channels. I've just found it fun. The reactions are fun. But I was gonna ramble about something else and I forgot what that thing was. Oh, I remember now. As people start growing up, I've been seeing more and more ex-Christians or ex-Mormons or ex-Jehovah's Witness, whatever. I've been seeing a lot more and more ex of this religion. And I'm realizing that that's because people of those religions are so hateful a lot of the time. Now I'm going to go into my beloved Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette and go into this purple shade Tarot here. Just on my finger. I'm gonna put it in the middle, on the middle of my lid. It's really brave of people who leave hateful religions. And I get asked sometimes about religion, and like my thing with religion is I do not care what religion you are as long as you're not using your religion to spread hate, because that's not right. I was raised a Christian. I was raised a pretty conservative Christian. I know what the Bible says. I've studied the Bible a lot, and Jesus's #1 thing, besides like love him, I think, was love your neighbor, which is essentially be kind to others. And I don't see why that's so hard for so many Christians. Jesus says be kind, and somehow they take a few verses of the Bible and take away the be kind message and instead add, we don't like the way you live, so we're gonna be mean to you about it. I'm now gonna take the shade Lemon, also from the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette, and put that in the inner portion of my lid. So I support any religion if it makes you happy, but I do not support being mean with the defense because your religion says so. I commend the people that have left hateful religions. Like that, I had my family's help of leaving the church. We kind of just stopped going, but I know a lot of these other churches are really hard to leave. So the people that have left, you are so brave. I just lost my train of thought completely. I could not tell you what I was talking about just now. But also I just wanted to say that thing I was mentioning earlier about Paul and Morgan, their false claim about suicide, it has been proven by science that using people's correct pronouns helps them a lot. I need to add the white now, and I know I'm gonna have to re-intensify it later. I'm just kind of adding it now to kind of get a grasp of what the final look might look like. So I'm gonna go into White Lies, this white from the Beauty Bay palette, and this is not the best white ever, but we're gonna be laying a shimmer on top, so it's okay. And I'm kind of just like packing this a little bit and just bringing it up a little bit into the crease, but not too much because I don't want the yellow to completely disappear. When you add so many contrasting colors on your eyes at once, some of the stuff is kind of going to be tempted to fade, so you just have to re-intensify a lot until you're happy with where it is. Now I'm going to add the shimmer shade. It's from the Glamlight palette again. It's French Vanilla, and looky there. Ignore the orange, I almost got in it, but look at that pan. It's a baby pan. I'm excited about that, but I'm going to take my finger into the French Vanilla shade and just kind of pack that where I put the matte white. And this is a very sparkly shade. I'm going to take some micellar water on a paper towel, clean up the fallout and like the edge. I'm gonna go into some NYX eyeliner in black, and I'm just gonna smudge this along my upper lid a little bit. Sorry I'm out of film. I'm literally just putting eyeliner on my lid. So there's one eye, I'm gonna do the other one, and then we'll be back. Okay, I've zoomed out a bit, and now we're gonna move on to the face. I'm gonna take the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and just pop that on. Ugh, I hate how red my face gets when I put on primer, but it's fine. We're just gonna put foundation on over top. So also, there's like so much I want to convey with my words, but it's just hard sometimes. Even though English is my first language, it's just thoughts, putting them into words and speaking them out of your mouth is very hard sometimes. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation, and I'm gonna put this on. The thing is, I don't understand why people have to be so hateful. And I spoke about this quite extensively in my bi makeup look, but the same thing applies for non-binary. Non-binary is maybe harder to adjust to than like, you know, just dating the same gender. It's harder to adjust to, but it's not as impossible as some Christians make it out to be. They're like, it's so confusing. How are we even supposed to adjust to this? It's not even grammatically correct. Which, one, it is grammatically correct. For example, you are going to your next class in high school or something, and you see a book that belongs to somebody, and you're like, oh no, somebody lost their book. We have to return it to them. And you know, you probably aren't using gender specific terms because you don't know whose book it is. You don't know if it's a male or a female. And if you always assume male, that's a different problem in and of itself. But if you are a normal human, that if you don't know someone's gender, you use they, them, then you know it is grammatically correct. But people always, you know, they always ignore it. They're like, it's not grammatically correct, which it is. It actually is. But, you know, think whatever you want. Actually don't. I would really prefer it if you weren't hateful. But they're like, it's just so hard. I just can't do it. But is it really that hard? Like, McKay brought up this point in his video, which is a very good example for just anyone. So say someone goes by a name. Like my dead name, I went by the full name for a while, and then I transitioned to a nickname. I'm not gonna give the full name, but let's say my name was Alexander, and I went by Alexander until like 6th grade. And then I'm like, actually, I would prefer to be called Alex. Well, all your friends They might mess up a little bit, sure, call you Alexander instead of Alex, but they're gonna switch to Alex for you because that's what makes you feel comfortable. And it's the exact same thing with changing a name because someone's trans or changing pronouns. It's literally the same thing. And yes, a normal non-binary or trans person will not get mad at you if you mess up. If you do it intentionally, that's a different story. But if you just mess up while you're getting used to it, it's fine, like you're trying. Knowing that we have your support is the important thing. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you use the wrong pronouns while you're getting used to it. You know, it's an adjustment. It's when you refuse to use the right pronouns that it's a problem, or the right like gendered terms. So it's like, why is it any different for a trans person to change their name and pronouns than if someone wanted to go by an abbreviated version of their first name, or they wanted to start going by their middle name instead of their first name? Why is that any different? Please tell me it's not. I'm gonna use Urban Decay Velvetizer to set this. There are just so many other excuses that transphobic people make, and like, I do not want to hear your excuses. If you would not be okay with me spilling excuses about why I was late for a meeting, then I'm allowed to not be okay with you spewing excuses for why you can't call me by my correct name and pronouns. Oh, and also I'm not doing a good job explaining exactly what they said. They said a lot of harmful things, so I definitely recommend you go watch Jordan and McKay's reaction video. Don't give them any more views. I already gave them a view. I regret it. Go watch Jordan and McKay's reaction video if you want to watch their video too, because that's included in it. The commentary from Jordan and McKay helps it a lot. It really helps it. You be able to get through it without crying. Again, we are talking about the stupid excuses they make. You know, the, oh, it's so confusing. And one time Morgan goes on a spew of like, oh, how confusing it must be for the children. Like, someone's a they and a them, and it doesn't make sense. And it's literally not confusing for children. And let me elaborate on that. If children are taught from a young age that it's okay, it's not gonna be confusing. So the reason it is confusing is because you didn't teach children. And it's not even that confusing if you didn't teach it. One of my little siblings who actually has kind of come out as non-binary now, they're still figuring out their gender, but they like they them pronouns. They are in upper elementary school, and when I came out as non-binary, they figured it out. It wasn't hard. And yes, all my siblings still make mistakes, especially the younger ones, just because, you know, they forget things easier. And schools don't do a good job teaching about they them pronouns. They really should. It would be even less confusing for children if schools taught about it. But you know, they don't really teach about it. Like, yes, my siblings still make mistakes, but I wouldn't say it's really confusing for them. You know, it's just like learning something new. Learning new things and adapting to environmental changes is literally part of growing up. So why is it so bad to teach children something new when it's literally going to help someone's mental health and well-being? It's not that hard to teach them. Sure, it might be just the easiest bit confusing, but they're gonna get over it. Children are surprisingly resilient and smart, and they're gonna pick up new things. And yes, some things are confusing throughout their life. If you are against child confusion, then don't send kids to school, because I can tell you a heck of a lot of times where I was confused in math class. I'm still confused in math class. I hate math, but you can't be like, oh, I don't like children being confused by they, them pronouns, then don't send kids to school, because I can bet a lot of children are confused by school. But guess what? They get over it, because a little bit of confusion isn't a bad thing, because they come out smarter on the other end. And especially in this scenario, they come out a heck of a lot smarter and a lot nicer, because they're willing to be nice to people. They're willing to adjust to people's pronouns. Oh, this is the Milani bronzer, and I just used the KVD Shade and Light palette. Did I mention? I think that's all the things I forgot to mention. But they come out not only smarter because they've overcome their little bit of confusion, they also come out nicer because they can make people feel really good by using their preferred pronouns. Also, for Bible people, if you can expect children to memorize a Bible verse every week, like I was expected to do in my church, you can expect them to use preferred pronouns. That's just my opinion, but I feel like my opinion is very right, because, you know, we expect a lot from kids, that is true, but you can expect things from kids because they're not dumb. Like, yes, they might not be as smart as adults, but they're also not little dumb creatures. They're humans. They're not dumb. Yeah, so especially if you're expecting them to memorize Bible verses every week and remember to pray to God like at least 3 times a day, you can expect them to at least attempt to use preferred pronouns. I'm gonna use Essence the blush in befitting. Yes, it broke. This packaging is cheap, but this blush is good, so I'm gonna use this. Yeah, all of their excuses are just stupid. They're just stupid. Like, if you're going to have excuses for something like this where it actually affects people, it should be a valid excuse. Oh, it's hard. Oh, it confuses children. Oh, it's not grammatically correct. Those are examples of really stupid excuses. So, you know, come back, think of a good excuse. Not the Bible says so, because one, it doesn't say so, and two, I don't care about the Bible. I am not Christian. But I do know the Bible also says to be nice, so I'm pretty sure being nice overrules like stupid one verse things, because being nice comes up a lot more than gay or stuff or anything. Being nice comes up quite a lot actually, and yet a lot of people seem to forget that. Also, to the people, to the Christians, that pick and choose what they want to remember from the Bible. There are lots of Bible verses that are discriminatory. Is that a word? I don't know. For example, I don't have exact verses for you because I don't read the Bible, sorry, but I know there are verses that say you can't wear mixed clothing, like you couldn't wear cotton and denim together. So I'm sorry, but you're sinning. Also, there are verses that discriminate against women and say they can't speak in the church, yet a lot of women speak in the church. And I'm not saying the Bible should say that, I'm just saying in the Old Testament it does. It also has a lot of rules in the Old Testament that you're supposed to follow. The Bible has a lot of rules, it says a lot of things. And which verses do you choose to cling on to? The verses that discriminate against gay people. Gay people literally don't affect straight people at all. Like, who you choose to love and who you choose to date, it doesn't affect the church at all. It doesn't even affect you who someone else chooses to date. I guess it affects you a little bit if you have to change pronouns for someone, but does it really affect you that much? I'm trying to think. I've changed pronouns for people a lot before, for friends of mine that have come out. And yeah, it doesn't affect me that much. And yes, maybe it would affect someone that doesn't have friends come out as often as I do, because I have a lot of LGBTQ friends. And you know, there are some people that have less, so I'm taking into account that it might be harder for you. But my parents didn't have a lot of LGBTQ friends or relatives until I came out. And you know, I could talk to them and they would say, yeah, it was kind of a little bit hard, but we caught on to it really quickly. Yeah, I would say it's not that big of a struggle for them either, and they, you know, they don't have as many gay friends as I do. And yet, somehow, it's so hard for the Christians, or the discriminatory people. I guess discriminatory is a word now because I've used it twice now. Now I'm gonna go into the lower lash line. I'm doing my makeup very slowly because I'm just ranting at this point. But I'm gonna go back into that yellow and start my lower lash line. Now do the purple, now the black. There's a little bit of fallout with this, so I'm just taking a clean brush to kind of blend it into the way I want. Now I'm going to re-intensify the white. Now pop back in and add more of the white shimmer. Now I'm going to do mascara, brows, and some black on my waterline, and then I'll be back. Okay, now for highlight, I'm gonna go into the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, Diamond Bomb. Gloss Bomb's the lip gloss. And how many carats? Apply that with my finger. Okay, now for setting spray, Urban Decay All Nighter. Okay, now for lips, I'm just gonna be using a black lip liner and nothing else because I don't have a black lipstick yet. And this is the KBD Vegan Beauty Lip Liner in Scully. So I'm gonna put that on and fill in my lips with it. Alright, so this is the final look for today's video. I love the way it turned out. It pretty much came out the exact same way that my other look did, but I love it. I'm glad I get to wear it again. This video definitely got a lot more ranty than I expected, but oh well, that's fine. So yes, definitely do check out Jordan McKay's channel. Do not check out Paul and Morgan's channel, just don't. I hate them. But yes, happy Pride Month again. I hope this month has brought you joy and you can continue to be prideful all year round. This is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more makeup and kitten related videos. I upload on Sundays and Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whenever I want to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!